It's time to get some feedback from our millionaire coaches. And I know Dr. Terry Wager has to leave in about 5 minutes. He's jumping on a plane to come hang out with us in Tampa. It's funny because we're going from Roatan, hanging out with Mike and Mitch Jorsky. Now we're flying back to Tampa and we're going to hang out with Christine and Dr. Terry Wager and Melanie Santos and her husband, Steve. So me and Darina have just been networking through December, hanging out with good people. We hung out with Rod Cleef and a lot of our mentors last week, with Steve Breton, with Matt Pacini, and some other influencers from Bigger Pockets. So while everybody else is, working and focused on the holidays, we're just chilling. We're networking. We're spending time with people who we aspire to be like, and we love and aspire. So Dr. Terry Wager, I know you got 5 minutes to get before you get out of here. What is your take on buying assets that increase time, energy, or cash flow?
Man, it's the only way to really build a business. You got to buy assets, whether it's properties or whether it's businesses. That's one of the things that Christine and I really focus on with our next 2022, 2023 is really how we can actually start to parlay our business with other businesses and start really actually increasing our net worth through buying into businesses, helping other businesses grow and flipping those, because the reality is there's two really strong ways to increase your net worth. That is to buy real estate and to buy businesses. And so that's what we're working on. And we're helping all of the Alchemist group, and we're helping all of our clients in Generator generate more income, because the point is to generate income. It's not to work, it's to generate income. And so that's what we're working on. And I can't wait to see you and Darina. Christine and I are super excited. We're sitting here. We're going to board the plane in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to let you guys go, and we will see you in Tampa.
We'll see you on the west coast of Florida, east coast of the country. Let's give Dr. Terry Wager and Christine McGinley a round of applause. Hell yeah. And Mitch Jorsky, you and I have been hanging out all week with Michael Shine, going out kayaking, hanging out, chilling, talking crypto, talking stocks, investment, looking at properties. Mitch, what is your take on investing in assets that save time, energy, and cash flow?
It's what you always ask me to say once a week on Wednesday morning. Organize and collect. You got to organize the acquisition of assets for yourself and your partners, and then collect the dividends that are produced from those assets, whether it be rental properties, businesses, crypto, whatever it is. So many things can produce income. But just about all the time, those things are assets. You need to own assets. It's the way our economy is set up. And it's literally what we're being forced to do based on the way our government uses our monetary system. So collect those assets so you can basically generate income, because like Terry just said, that's the point, to generate income. Why would we want to keep working? You work to acquire assets that generate income, and then you can live a life. And I said this to Walter and Mike before I left yesterday, and it was kind of my gratitude for not only the trip, but just what I realized. All the conversations we're talking about what we want to do. And I'm blessed that I have so many different options in terms of businesses and investments that I can do. And it's like, what do I want to do? And I'm like, do you realize this whole time we're talking about want and not have to? There's a lot of people that are having conversations about what they have to do and not what they want to do. So by owning income generating assets, you can talk more about what you want to do and not what you have to do.
I love that. That is so powerful, Mitch. And it was so cool to be able to have that conversation. We were just sitting there at the breakfast table, and Mitch was getting ready to go to the airport, and he said it. He was like, man, like, these are good problems. Like, these are the best problems on the planet. Like, we're saying, hey, what do we want to do next? What do we want to do next? We're sitting here on a tropical freaking island off the coast of Honduras, drinking Mai Tais. Well, we weren't drinking Mai Tais. We had orange juice, fresh squeezed orange juice, fresh cut coconut water. Like, we're just chilling, and we're thinking about, what are we going to do next? What's the next challenge? What's the next opportunity for us? This is what is possible for you when you start talking with that language, talking to people about, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I want to do it. What do we want to do next? instead of need to do. We got to change the language. We got to change the people we're hanging around with. I see Doug McGurk is on the call. Doug, let's bring you on, my man. You've been traveling with Frank McKinney all week, helping promote his book Aspire. So it's good to see you back on the call, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a long couple of days, a lot of driving. We drove from Denver to Tulsa, then from Tulsa to Birmingham, then from Birmingham to Atlanta, then from Atlanta to Delray, or no, West Palm, then Delray. No, Fort Pierce, then West Palm, then Delray. Yeah, it was a great time. And to your point, that was an investment in our relationship, Frank and I. I mean, we're tight anyway, but we got to basically, spend a lot of time together. Got to what Walter was sharing earlier is when you're hanging around with people, you start to pick up their thoughts, their beliefs, their values, their priorities. And, Frank, as a good friend, he's super successful. So we just got to talk about some of his mindset around doing these multi-million-dollar spec houses and, when he had some challenges and how he navigated it. But I also want to acknowledge everyone on the call here because your most valuable asset is you. So right now, you're investing your most valuable asset, your time, into yourself. And the more you do that, the more you're going to pick up the mindset. And to Mitch's point, that is everything he just shared was all about mindset, was all about understanding the quality of the opportunities we have to grow. Because we may want to do things, that doesn't mean they're going to be easy. There's still going to be these challenges. It's just, I remember, Walter, to your point when you're talking about, and everyone, the benefits of financial freedom. I was talking to a good friend of mine who became very successful. We were in music and then was a very successful DJ. And he's like, man, you remember when we were in the band together and we were, basically making no money and all of that. And then we turned around and made some money and whatever. But he's like, now, he goes, I'm doing really well. But my problems, my challenges are the same. But I got to tell you, it's awesome talking to you in my brand new Lexus right now. So the language shift around want and have or get is huge because it's still a choice. Everything we have, every situation, every opportunity is a choice. So you can choose to invest in yourself, and that investment in yourself may be hiring a coach, maybe hiring an assistant, maybe spending some time with Mitch learning about crypto, or spending it with Ryan about investing. But the challenge is getting over our own head. So the more you can invest in yourself and your mindset, the more successful you're going to be. And what you'll find is you aren't going to have less problems. You're just going to have better quality opportunities for growth. And that's all I have to say about that.
Let's give Doug McGurk a round of applause. There is an asset above all assets that not only me, not only Doug, not only the other coaches, but the great Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett, agree on. It is communication. Warren Buffett has repeatedly said, if I were to give you one suggestion, is learn how to communicate better. Go out and if you could never go to college and you only had one skill to pick in the entire world, what skill would it be? He said communication. Because the people who communicate can raise capital. The people who communicate can sell themselves. People who know how to communicate can go and build a business, manage people, lead people, and acquire assets, which is what this call is all about, is acquisition of assets. So if you haven't already had a conversation with Doug McGurk and signed up for one of his programs, this is an opportunity to do so, to learn how to communicate better. He's one of my coaches, my personal coach, who teaches me how to communicate in a much better manner so that I can increase the amount of understanding that is out there. So as a trainer, that's important to me. As a salesperson, I also use it in sales. It's worked very well. In fact, I use it when I used to be single and I was picking up girls. How do you think I got Dorina? I was a very clear communicator, right? That is, the Russian princess is a very powerful, intelligent, just financially smart woman. Not, some schmuck's not gonna be able to pick her up. You're gonna have to be able to know how to use your words. Answer the camera if you know you got your spouse not by being lucky, but by communicating clearly. That's true. Absolutely. And it works in business as well. So we've got an event coming up called Master of Influence for everybody in the mentorship. We're going to give you a very good deal on how to buy into that program. Master of Influence is going to teach you how to use NLP, how to use hypnosis, and how to, well, we'll leverage hypnosis for your own personal benefit to increase and remove all your blocks, remove the procrastination, remove some of the negative thoughts you have going on. And we're also going to teach you how to become a social influencer, how to use social influence in the training Master of Influence. Who understands that influence is extremely important for getting what you want in life. And if there was only one course that I could put anybody through, it would be this course. Because with a better understanding of influence, you would be able to buy, raise, and acquire whatever you want in life. Hands to the camera if you know that's a truth. It's all about what you say, how you say it, who you say it to. That is going to dictate what your life looks like in the next coming years. So Master of Influence, what I'm going to tell you is, yes, is the price ticket more than you may have paid for the mentorship? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Bar none. It's a live in-person event. You're going to be learning how to become a master of influence from masters of influence. As it can, if you know, we'll over deliver and go above and beyond. It's one of those things that you can't miss out on. And if you're not in the mentorship, my suggestion is get into the mentorship. The price of entry will help you in getting that deal to go to Master of Influence. I've been asked by people outside of our community, hey, you know, can you teach me how to speak the way you speak? Can you teach me how to do social media the way you do social media? And every time I get asked, I tell them, look, get in the mentorship, go through the Master of Influence program. And the people who are successful do that. And the people who are, you know, I have one gentleman who's like, no, I just want you to teach me one-on-one. And I was like, dude, like, I do not do that. I don't have time to do a one-on-one teaching of that. It's too expensive. Like, it would just, my time is just too valuable to go and do that one-on-one stuff. The hands to the camera if you understand that's true. I only take on 3 students a year, and I don't care what I'm teaching, but the idea is I'm going to 10x your income. So if the 3 students are already taken, that means we have to go through these group trainings that are very powerful, that include not just me, but other coaches like Doug, who are masters of influence. So anyway, I brag about that one because Doug's just impressed me so much over the past few years. He's given me so much knowledge, so much resources, and I'm very thankful to have him as a friend and as a coach. Who is next? Well, I was just talking about Darina, so why not? Let's bring on the Russian princess. You're up.
Thank you so much for all the kind words. For me, I remember when I had to Google word assets in a dictionary and like what the heck that meant. And there's no direct translation from English to Russian what asset is, but the idea is it's something that is a value. It's value, and once it's there, it generates value continuously. It's not like one and done. It's going on for a long time. So when we partner up with Walter, asset turn into not just something physical. It's something that you build on the computer. For example, spreadsheet. It's an asset to build a document. A standard operating procedure is a document, is an asset. It's like, okay, so asset is anything that makes your life easier or richer. So build an asset that will save you time. I think time is the most important. The money come and go, right? Time is the most important. So if there's a system, a spreadsheet, a formula that you can build or ask someone else to build, do that now. Invest that time to build an asset that will save you time later. If there is a document that you can then hire 100 virtual assistants, it will save you so much time. And you train one time a person who can do the work for you later on, that person is an asset, right? We hire assets. That means that they are generating value continuously. They're generating income continuously, and then they pass it on to other people. So, you know, asset could mean so many things. Whatever is your asset that's like, okay, 2022 is coming up. Like, what asset do I have to build? Do I want to build? Micdermott, do I want to build? So that I will give the meaningful life for me and my family, and it will save me the time, or it will actually give me more time and increase the income. So, you know, Mark, Jester, I appreciate you being on the call. You're an asset. It's our virtual assistant, but now he's a part of the family. So dive into 2022 with things that you want to create that will save you time and increase the income. That's what I have to say. And I can't wait to go back there in the pool.
Let's give Darina a round of applause. That is a real background she has. That's the second floor of the building. That's like the porch that goes on the outside. And it's so cool because you got the beach down there and then you got the pool. You can see her screen right now. You got the beach down at the bottom and then you got the pool. And it's just been so fantastic, so much fun. And like she was just saying with Mark, you know, Mark is one of the first VAs that we've brought on to go and message people to build relationships and bring them into the community. And Mark, I could see down the road being one of the managers who trains other virtual assistants, who brings people in, teaches them what he's doing, what's really worked for him, what hasn't worked for him, his scripts, the things that are working, and increasing the income for other people. One of the other, you know, features is like, just like, Mark's a good guy. Look at him. Like, he's smiling. He's on the camera with us. You know, he's just a good person. So he's going to be making income from doing this. He's going to be learning with us. Your business can advance the people that are working with you. And if you build it properly, it's going to be a ladder that people can climb so that they can improve their lives, buy their investments, increase their income. And eventually the goal is for everybody to be at a higher level of increased status, happiness, love, wealth, relationships, and obviously income allows us to do that. Ryan Mcdermott, let's hear from another millionaire who's still got his Series 7, even though I'm working on getting him to just go straight into coaching. Ryan, you're up.
Well, before I jump into what I'm going to say, who's feeling a little FOMO over this group that is down there enjoying themselves? I know I'm feeling it a little bit. I'd be jealous if I didn't love you all so much. I'm so glad you're enjoying this while we freeze up here in New England. But no, this is a great lesson. This kind of brings me back to kind of like my early days of like deciding to become an entrepreneur. I was working as an accountant, and I hated my job. And I'm not like, I can't hide my feelings. Like, people around me know I'm like miserable. If I'm miserable, you know it. And I can remember, you know, my first coach, like literally my first coach, was my dad. He coached me in basketball. And he was kind of like, you know, the person who gave me a lot of really good advice kind of early in my career, and still does. And, you know, we talk about, you know, like, why do you not like the job? And, you know, ultimately came down to, I didn't like really having bosses. And, you know, we got in this whole philosophical debate over, you know, he owned a business and how risky it was to own a business. And I was saying, you know, it's crazy. Like, if you own a business, most businesses fail. He said, okay, well, that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is I have 200 clients, which means I have 200 sources of income. You have one source of income. If you lose your one source of income, you're over. If I lose one source of income, I still have 199 sources of income. I'm not going anywhere. So who's living the riskier existence, right? And so that changed me into wanting to become an entrepreneur. And over time, you know, we're talking about in this lesson's about investing in assets that will bring you income. Figuring out ways to obtain recurring revenue in your business has become sort of a militant thing for me. And when I've done really well, like, I've had ups and downs in my business, as everybody has. And the times I've been down has been when I've lost focus on that. It's very simple. Acquire new customers that can pay recurring revenue. Acquire units that will pay recurring revenue. I'm just getting to the spot where I need to acquire people that can help me grow it all. And yeah, just again, such a great lesson, and an amazing book to back it up as well. I'm literally in the middle of rereading it now, and yeah, can't say enough about that book. And I'm going. I think Charlton Heston is the one that's reading the book on Audible. I'm spreading that rumor now.
Let's give Ryan Mcdermott a round of applause. Ryan is one of our amazing coaches in the mentorship program. So you get access to Ryan, you get access to Mitch, you get access to Doug, you get access to Rita, you get access to Michael Shine, you get access to the other Mitches. And it's just a powerful group of really intelligent resources. These are all millionaires who have access to capital, access to knowledge, access to connections. Your net worth is your network. Your net worth is your network. So the people who you know and are able to connect with are the people you end up doing deals with. I love Aleem's got the shirt on. I am an alchemist. Hell yeah. I got the bracelet on, still representing from the 100 Millionaire Summit. Let's see, who else do I have? Mike Shine, I believe you are the last of the coaches I see on camera. So Mike, what would you give for your advice on Wealth Principle 45?
Yeah, thanks, Walter. Well, first of all, as soon as you said this, I thought of Mitch Dworsky, because in our talks recently, he keeps mentioning the fact that the government is printing so much money that it's forcing us to be in assets. So you can't keep your money in a savings account. It's basically burning money. So you have to be in assets. And from my perspective, it's my motto is massive income from passive income. So for me, it's finding amazing partnerships and working with someone else so that I can add value to their life and they can add value to my life. And it's where I'm most comfortable. And it's like my greatest joy is when we're working on a deal. That's where it is. So I'm so into this. I mean, this going to Roatan, I have partners doing things while this is happening that's helping me. And I'm just so grateful for all of it. So yeah, I'm a true believer in this, and it's all about leveraging your talents and leveraging other people's talents to get whatever mutually beneficial win-wins. Thank you.
Let's give Michael Shine one more round of applause. And before we open it up to questions, I got to tell you a little bit of a story about Darina and I yesterday on the kayak that only Mike Shine, his wife Brenda, and his daughter Sam know about. So yesterday, we're on the kayak and we're going to go out to the coral reef and we're going to swim and see the fishes. And I already told everybody, I was like, look, my stomach's a little rough. You know, I got a little bit of a headache from the night before. So I'll kayak with you. Mike hooked me up with an ibuprofen, right? So I decided, okay, I'll go out now. I wasn't going to, but then I changed my mind because Mike hooked up the pain reliever. So I go out, I'm paddling, and everybody dives into the water. We set anchor. I'm cruising over the reef. I'm enjoying myself, you know, splashing, just having a blast. Time to pick everybody up. So I bring paddle back over to Darina. She starts getting onto the boat. And my intention was to just chill out on the water. I was sitting on the kayak, just enjoying myself. And when she went to jump on, sometimes your partners rock your world a little bit. And within seconds, I was no longer calm and peaceful, sitting in the sun. I was in the water. Life has a way of shaking things up. And, you know, a good opportunity, a good situation can sometimes be a little more chaotic than you think it would be. Now if that wasn't a good enough lesson, I try to get back on and I'm on one side. Darina comes up with a great idea. She says, you go on the other side, I'll go on this side. So we start working our way up. I get on first, Darina gets on, and we're back in the water again. It's like within seconds, my mind's thinking, come on, what is going on here? Third time around, far more communication. It was Darina, I'm going to go on first. Then I'm going to lean over to the left. You're going to get on, keep your body weight low. And through the communication, and by the way, I think that the reason we weren't communicating well the first time, she was laughing too damn hard. Like she knew how peaceful I wanted to be out there. She knew I just wanted to chill, not go in the water. I'd already done the water thing the day before. And so she was just dying with the irony that my bald ass was in the water now. So sometimes you got to listen. Sometimes you got to communicate a little bit better. But as long as you're doing it with people that you care about, people you want to see well, we did get back on the boat. We did paddle our way back to shore. And Mike saw a barracuda. There was so many cool experiences out there. So thank you, Mike, for inviting us on this trip. It's been absolutely a blast, life-changing experience to be able to hang out with you guys and with Mitch and spend more time in a place I've never been before. So coaches, let's give our coaches a round of applause. These guys and gals are millionaires spending the time with you, donating their time to come out here and every week share something. I want to open this up now.